Cardi B goes off in tears after Stefon Diggs propose after Super Bowl win. The stadium lights were still blazing. Confetti covered the field like a golden snowfall. Cameras flashed non-stop as the world celebrated another unforgettable Super Bowl victory. Fans were screaming, analysts were still shouting into their microphones, and the trophy stood tall at midfield. But nobody was ready for what happened next. As the celebration slowly shifted from chaos to controlled madness, Cardi B stepped onto the field, heels sinking slightly into the turf, eyes glossy with emotion. She had been cheering all night, screaming louder than anyone, living every second of the game like it was her own. Across the field stood the man of the moment, Stefon Diggs. Helmet off. Jersey still damp. Chest rising and falling as reality finally hit him. He was a Super Bowl champion. And that's when everything changed. Wait. What is he doing? As reporters rushed in and teammates slapped his helmet, Stefon Diggs suddenly raised his hand. Not to wave. Not to celebrate. To stop everything. The music faded. The sideline noise dipped. Even the cameras hesitated, unsure if they were supposed to follow. Then Diggs turned. Straight toward Cardi. At first, she smiled, wide, proud, glowing. But within seconds, her smile cracked. Because Stefon wasn't walking normally. He was slow. Deliberate. Focused. And then, he reached into his pocket. Cardi B freezes flushed face. No. No way, she whispered, her hands flying to her mouth. The crowd began to murmur. Twitter was already on fire. Commentators leaned forward. Stefon Diggs dropped to one knee right there on the Super Bowl field, confetti still falling around him, the championship trophy glistening just feet away. A velvet box opened. Inside, a ring so bright it looked like it had its own spotlight. And that's when Cardi B lost it. I can't do this, loudly crying face. Cardi collapsed forward, crying uncontrollably. Not cute tears. Not quiet tears. Real tears. The kind where your makeup doesn't stand a chance. The kind where your chest shakes. The kind that comes from shock, love, disbelief, and years of emotions crashing all at once. She screamed. You did this on the field? After the Super Bowl? You're crazy. The crowd erupted. Phones were shaking. Fans were sobbing. Even some players turned away, wiping their eyes. Stefon smiled, nervous, emotional, proud, and spoke into the mic. You've been with me through the losses, the pressure, the doubts. Tonight, I won the biggest game of my life. But I don't want to win without you. Cardi, will you marry me? The answer that broke the internet globe with Meridian's fire. Cardi tried to speak. She couldn't. She nodded. Then screamed. Then cried harder. Finally, through tears and laughter, she yelled. Yes. Yes. 1,000 times yes. The stadium exploded. Fireworks went off. Teammates tackled Diggs. Cardi dropped to her knees, hugging him like she was afraid the moment might disappear. Stefon slid the ring onto her finger. She stared at it, shaking. This ring got its own zip code, she cried, laughing through tears. From Super Bowl to fairy tale ring sparkles. Within minutes, the moment was everywhere. Hashtag Cardi and Diggs. Hashtag Super Bowl proposal. Hashtag she said yes. Hashtag from touchdowns to tiaras. Celebrities reacted live. Fans replayed the clip on loop. Analysts forgot football and talked about love. One commentator said it best. This might be the greatest Super Bowl ending we've ever seen, and it didn't even involve the final score. Cardi's emotional confession, broken heart, red heart. Later that night, still in tears, Cardi spoke to reporters. Y'all don't understand. I've prayed for this kind of love. This man saw me at my worst, my loudest, my softest. Tonight wasn't just about football. It was about faith, patience, and real love. She kissed the ring again. And again. The internet? Completely unhinged, exploding head. Fans flooded social media. I came for football and left crying. This is a rom-com but real. Cardi B deserves this happiness. Stefon Diggs just won life. Memes exploded. Reaction videos multiplied. People who didn't even watch football were suddenly Super Bowl experts, because this was history. What's next? Eyes. Sources whispered about a royal-level wedding. A documentary deal. A diamond upgrade just because. And a honeymoon so private it'll shut down an island. One thing was clear. This wasn't just a proposal. It was a moment. A moment where sports, love, tears, and destiny collided under stadium lights. Trophy ring final word. Stefon Diggs won the Super Bowl. But that night? He won something bigger. And Cardi B? She didn't just say yes. She cried her way into a brand new chapter, one the world will never forget. Disclaimer: this is a fictional, entertainment-only story created for dramatic storytelling purposes. Broken Heart Fire. Cardi B goes off in tears after Stefon Diggs proposes following Super Bowl win. Trophy smiling face with hearts. The stadium was still shaking. Confetti rained from the sky. Fireworks cracked through the night air. Cameras flashed non-stop as millions watched the Super Bowl champion celebrate on the biggest stage in sports. The crowd roared, chants echoed, and history had just been made. But nobody, absolutely nobody, was ready for what came next. As the MVP trophy was handed over and the celebrations peaked, Cardi B stood on the sidelines, hands trembling, mascara already smudged from earlier tears of pride. She had screamed. She had jumped. She had cried watching Stefon Diggs dominate the game and cement his legacy with a Super Bowl win fans would talk about for decades. She thought the night was over. She was wrong. Flushed face. Wait. What is he doing? Just as Stefon Diggs finished hugging teammates and coaches, he suddenly stopped. He turned around. Not toward the cameras. Not toward the trophy. Not toward the locker room. He turned toward Cardi. At first, people thought it was just another celebratory hug. Cardi smiled through tears, stepping forward instinctively. But then Stefon motioned for security, and suddenly the noise dropped. The stadium screens shifted. One camera. Then two. Then every single screen zoomed in. The crowd fell into a stunned silence. Ring. The moment that broke Cardi B. Stefon Diggs reached into his pocket. Cardi's smile froze. Her hands flew to her mouth. Her knees buckled. No, 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 oh my God, no, she screamed, half laughing, half sobbing, her voice cracking as tears streamed freely. Stefon dropped to one knee, right there on the Super Bowl field. With the Lombardi trophy glittering behind him. With millions watching live. With the world holding its breath. He looked up at her and said, "When the world doubted me, you believed. When I was tired, you lifted me. Every win means nothing if I can't share my life with you. Will you marry me?" Loudly crying face. Cardi B goes off, tears, screams, collapse. Cardi B lost it. She screamed. She cried uncontrollably. She dropped to the ground. Security rushed forward, thinking something was wrong, but it wasn't panic. It was overwhelming emotion. She shouted through tears. "Why you do this to me like this? On this stage? You tryna kill me?" The crowd erupted. Players laughed. Teammates wiped tears. Commentators went silent, then emotional. Cardi crawled forward, mascara streaking down her face, sobbing so hard she could barely breathe. Then she said the word heard around the world. Yes. Yes. 1,000 times yes. The stadium explodes. The moment she said yes, the stadium detonated. Fireworks blasted again. Music thundered. Fans screamed like it was another touchdown. Stefon slipped the ring onto her finger, a massive diamond that caught the stadium lights like a star. Cardi collapsed into his arms, crying harder than ever. She whispered into his chest. I never thought I'd be loved like this. Globe showing Europe Africa internet in total meltdown. Within seconds, social media went nuclear. This is the greatest proposal in sports history. Cardi B crying has me crying. Super Bowl plus proposal equals legendary. Love really won tonight. Clip spread faster than wildfire. TikTok crashed. Instagram timelines froze. Twitter, X, was nothing but crying emojis, ring emojis, and shocked reactions. Even celebrities chimed in. This broke me loudly crying face ring. I'm sobbing and I don't even know them. Love still exists. Period. Broken heart Cardi. Opens up backstage. Backstage, still shaking, Cardi spoke through tears to reporters. Y'all don't understand, this man saw me at my weakest and still chose me at his strongest. She admitted she had no idea it was coming. I thought we was going home to eat and sleep. This man said, nah, let me change your life real quick. She laughed through tears, holding up the ring, hands still trembling. Smiling face with hearts, a night that changed everything. The Super Bowl trophy? Legendary. The MVP title? Historic. But what people will remember forever is the night a football field turned into a love story. The night Cardi B went off in tears, not from pain, but from pure joy. The night Stefon Diggs proved that sometimes, the biggest win isn't the ring you lift. It's the one you put on someone's finger. Speech balloon final thought. This wasn't just a proposal. It was a statement. A promise. A moment that blended sports, love, vulnerability, and spectacle into one unforgettable chapter. And one